Welcome to another episode of On the Capo Stand. I am your host David, and alongside, as in every week, our good friend John. How you doing, John?
Good, David. How was your vacation?
It was fantastic, and for anybody that has ever had the experience of coming back from vacation, your email is full of requests because it seems like people can't read the out of the office notification. They insist in sending you emails knowing fairly well that you're not there. They decide to make you do things on Monday knowing fairly well that you're not ready for them because you're going to see the email Monday morning. And a bunch of voicemails, and it was a hectic day of clerical work for me. Some things were not working. I was emailing people. This is not working. Can I help? Blah, ignored. So it was hell. But I'm back. Puerto Rico was awesome. It was a good time, a good experience, and it was it was a good family, a good time with family, and that's what was important. John, let's go directly to what's going on. Let's talk about news around the league first,
All right.
if I may. We can definitely not ignore the elephant in the room. Miami, Inter Miami officially made the signing of Lionel Messi official, and we welcome him as a sign of respect. A player that has won a lot of things. I think it's great for the league in the sense that it puts us on the map. It brings more money. That definitely going to sell a crap load of jerseys and put some eyes on the league. I don't think that 90% of the people that are going to be coming with him are going to stay once he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And to follow what the great Wayne Rooney said, what when asked about his presence in the league, and he said, "Well, there's a lot of people that come into the league thinking that it's going to be a walk in the park, and then they realize that the travel and the physical demands of the league are much more than what they bargained for, and some fail." And I second that. I think while it was cool to see Messi shopping at Publix and all that, that was cute. The reality is he's coming out of shape, um, and not only he's coming into a tournament against a Mexican team that is coming with a chip on their shoulder. Cruz Azul is a Mexican powerhouse that would love to humiliate Messi. Messi's one man. I just don't think that he has the power to lift them up. Obviously, the league is going to try everything possible to make him get into the playoffs. And last, before John talks, I think that their best chance is in Open Cup, and probably that's where they're going to put all their eggs, and they're going to put all their eggs in that basket. So, with that said, welcome. Can't wait to embarrass you and humiliate you, Messi, on our turf, and prove to everybody that it's not where you're from, it's where you at. It's not who you used to be, it's who you are. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations, welcome to the league, and that's about the only thing positive I have to say about it. Because fact of the matter is, he's older than I am, and as I said multiple times, and I'll tell people on the street, if you're older than me, chances are you're washed up. I'm not the biggest Messi fan in the world. I always thought that he was more a product of the guys around him than he was himself. Don't get me wrong, great player, one of the best in the world. But you watch him play versus you watch Cristiano Ronaldo play. Your eyes are going to go to Cristiano because he looks different. He acts different, carries himself different. Messi just kind of looked like another short player that could squeeze through tight spaces. This is my
Mhm.
opinion. I know people are going to come after us saying how wrong I am. Cool. You have backing to stand on, but this is my opinion. Never played in a league known for its physicality. France is generally a more finesse league. The same with Spain. Never played in the Premier League. Um, Arguably the most physical league in the world. I mean, there's guys that come over from the Premier League, from the Bundesliga, that have been quoted to say that MLS is just as physical as those leagues, just not as talented yet. So, it'll be interesting to see how he handles that. And I can't wait for September for them to come in town. Anytime you get to see a legend of the game play, in a match that means something, whether it be a Open Cup or league game or whatever it may be, Champions League game, you're going to take that opportunity. Am I going to clap for him? No. It'll be cool to see him play live, though. Cool to see him pocketed by a part-time tax accountant, 21-year-old that is getting paid 1/100th, I believe it is, of what he's getting paid, and Araujo. See Cartagena pocket him. See, and then see some random mill worker from where's Janssen at? See Janssen.
Sweden.
See Janssen.
Yeah, Sweden. The guy working a shoe factory.
Exactly. So to see those guys just pocket him,
Horseshoe.
is going to be amazing. I mean, what Miami really needs. I thought their attack on paper anyway was pretty decent. Pretty decent. In MLS comparisons, but that defense they have was just slow and unorganized and just awful. But then they brought in Busquets. Cool. You got another guy that's just as old as me, and give me a couple weeks of training, I'd put me against him in a foot race.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he was in his prime, he was not the fastest player out there. We're even considered semi-fast. So cool for Miami. I don't think it's going to benefit the league as much as people think it's going to, because they're giving so many concessions to him. I saw today on Twitter. The clown that is the commissioner of the MLS, Don Garber, hinted that teams may be forced to install grass pitches just for Messi. MLS can't. The MLS Apple TV people can't stop talking about him. I had to turn the pregame off on Saturday specifically for the Orlando versus Atlanta match, because they were talking more about a player that wasn't even going to be playing in our match than they were the actual match itself. So, I don't think he's going to do too much. You look at his stats for PSG last year with two of the best attacking players in the world, and Neymar and Mbappe, and his stats were not that impressive. Even his assists weren't impressive when you got the guys that he's running with. So, he's definitely on the downturn of his career. Definitely, getting there. And, one last thing, by the way, when Cristiano Ronaldo was 35 years old, he was signing for Juventus, one of the biggest clubs in Italy, not bottom dwellers, bottom feeders enter Miami. So that tells you who's the better soccer player overall.
Well, I have to tell you this. When I was in Puerto Rico, I went to the mall, and they had an Adidas store. And I was talking to one of the guys there, and because I did notice that the Adidas store, they carry, if a national team has an Adidas kit, they sell it there. I was telling him, I said, well, who the hell buys Chile or Sweden's kit in Puerto Rico? And it's a travesty. And he said, oh no, it's just, we just have to carry what the brand sells or whatever. And he said when Messi is official, we're gonna be carrying that kit as well. And again, it's about selling merchandise for the league. I don't think they care so much about the football aspect of it. He's again, the Messi that we're getting is a Messi at the end of his career. I don't think anybody will argue that. He's coming to one of the worst teams in MLS. I just don't see it going anywhere. Unfortunately, I think they're gonna push that Open Cup. Excuse me, they're gonna push that Open Cup, and then they are also going to try their darnest to finish ninth and throw the dice on the wild card game, because I mean they're very deep in the table. And the season's almost over, friends. You know, we played this Leagues Cup. We come back. We're looking at it. I mean, we have a handful of games at home left, and for Miami, it's gonna be tough. Like I just the travel that is involved, knowing what I know, the interviews that Facundo and Gaston have given to Argentinian and Uruguayan media, respectively, has been always about the travel. The travel, and I have said that before. That Facundo said, "Hey, you know, in the Uruguayan league, all but one team is based out of Montevideo. I drove myself to the games. Here, I have to fly with the guys for hours. So we'll have to see. It will be interesting to see if they are going to force uh, uh, natural grass, because Atlanta, they have a roof, so it's gonna be impossible for them to do so.
Yep.
But again, all the best to them.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, David, it's interesting because I don't know if you saw last week. It came out that Insigne and the other player they got from Italy, I can't remember his name. He's the one that was sent off when we played them
I know who you're talking
on
about. I
July
can't remember
4th.
his name.
Yeah. They both are asking to leave the club, that they want to go back and play in Italy.
Oof.
And I mean, both of them aren't 34 years old. They're pretty young. So I mean, that just kind of tells you how they are. Jim D with the comment, coming in hot early with his Miami take. I foresee this going bad for Miami when Messi fans see him failing with Miami. They will all eventually turn on Miami. They'll be looked at as the team that tarnished his legacy. I
Right,
mean,
they're
that's the
gonna blame
risk he
him.
was willing to take. I mean, he came here not necessarily for the money. Now he is, with all the residuals and everything, going to end up getting a club for basically free by the
Hmm.
time he comes around to starting a club. Um, if you did it for the money, it would have been going to the Middle East, to Saudi Arabia, playing in the
Now
Saudi.
this we discussed this, John. This
Yeah,
the way that the and I'm sorry to interrupt
no, you're
you.
fine.
The way the contract is structured, like you said, he's getting the Beckham treatment, getting a team. You cannot downplay that. That's knowing um that who was the last team to come in? San Diego had to pay close to half
Hmm.
$1 billion to come into the league. Friends, Messi doesn't have to, so that's money in his pocket. That's one thing. The other one is the fact that, aside from the $60 million that he's getting in cash, right, his salary, which the whole league is paying for this. He's also his endorsements with Adidas. All this he has set up financially. He has set up not only his grandkids, his great grandkids, his great generations to come. And I can't get mad at that, John.
Yeah.
I can't get
Well,
mad
I
at that.
mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
the guys in the Saudi league were offering him upwards of 2.5 billion with a B dollars. So I mean, I don't see what he came for being.
A green card. They're also throwing a green card at
Yeah,
the man. I
yeah,
mean, come
but
on.
there's a number of reasons. The biggest reason is, you and I know, his wife said she wanted to go to Miami. Happy wife, happy life type of deal.
For sure.
Is kind of what I see. Ticked him over. Plus, he in the off season vacations in Miami, so he already owned
Yeah, no,
already owned a house.
and at the end, man, he doesn't have the pressure to come here and win. He
Mhm.
went to PSG that spent billions, and it's a team that failed to win the CCL, not the CCL, but the Champions League in Europe. And that's it. I mean, he doesn't have that pressure here. He
Mhm.
just has to be messy, right? He has to be messy. And we're gonna finish this by saying that the attitude that I see of people online is a very negative one. Um, I love the game of football, and I love the teams that I follow for a plethora of reasons, too many to number in this show. But I follow the club regardless of who's playing and who's managing. My loyalty is to the institution, to the club, because we have said it here before: players come and go, the supporter remains. Um, but for some of these guys that follow this one player all over the place, I want to retell the story of our good friend Tom Traxler, who co-owns the what is Premier Soccer. I can't remember the name of the store on the Florida Mall.
Oh, they don't even exist anymore. But I know
No,
who
no,
you're
they're still
talking about.
around. They're still around.
Oh, they are. I saw them closed up last time I was there.
Oh yeah, no, they moved. That's why they moved
Okay.
to another part of but
Oh,
anyways, they he the when myself and the guys from Orlando Lions then interview him and Jeff Ratcliffe a few years back. He was saying that he at the time he was having a nightmare because that's when he moved from Barcelona to no, he was talking about Ronaldo. That's when Ronaldo moved from uh, Real Madrid to Juventus, and he said that now all of a sudden he's with this huge inventory of jerseys nobody wants, but every day 20, 30 people are asking him, "Do you have the Ronaldo Juventus
mhm.
jersey?" So again, if you want to live your life like that, by all means, go for it. You're a glory hunter. You're not a sports fan. You're not a footballer. You don't know the pain of losing and the glory of winning. Because let me tell you something. When Orlando City lifted the Open Cup, those 5 years of pain and suffering and humiliation, 6 years actually, of making it to the MLS's back final and losing, all that vanished because I had been loyal for my club. I had been there through the worst, and I was there to share the moment with my kids. And my club Stevenage last year when they got promoted after the year before barely surviving to stay in the EFL, that felt wonderful. This is what football is all about: rolling the dice with a club, supporting the club, home and away. That's what it's all about.
Mhm.
So to
When I
all those,
saw, sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, no.
Um,
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
saw something funny. You were talking about the jerseys and everything. Apparently, the Messi jerseys sold out already, as you can expect. They're not slated for delivery until November. The latest I saw was mid to late November, so
Wow.
that's just laughable.
Wow.
Jim D, it will go fine for Messi, but when those 3.5 billion new Miami fans eventually turn on Miami and blame them for his downfall, it will not be good for Miami. Yeah,
No,
I don't know
that's
if
true.
you're aware, David, but the MLS came out and said that 3.5 billion with a B fan people watched Messi's introduction. To put it in
For the
context,
league,
it
I'm not
was
gonna hate on that.
well, to put it in context, about somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5 to 1.75 billion watched the World Cup final. So I don't really believe those numbers that the MLS is giving out.
Well, I tell you what, and we're gonna close this subject with this because we're on Orlando City podcast, and there's so much fun things to talk about our club. Um, well, I'll tell you
Positive
this.
for once too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Our legendary Miguel Gallardo, who did the pre and post game show for MLS on Apple this past weekend, defended with sword and shield our club when the other two announcers were sort of clowning Orlando before the game, like, oh, they haven't been able to win or whatever. And Miguel beautifully explained the history of the club and all that. And Miguel, if you are watching this, because you said that you keep tabs of the podcast to sort of know what the fans are talking about. I just want to I want to tell you, man, that this is the reason why you're loved, because you could have easily said, well, I have to be neutral. I no longer work for the club, blah blah blah, and sort of like play nice, and you didn't. You sort of put them in their place, and at the end, that smile, my friend, said it all. So With that said, John, let's read this comment here, and then we're gonna go to the heavy dish of the night.
John Ames, what importance is there for League Cup? What are the expectations going into the Cup? Thank you. We can jump into that right now if you want to before we.
Sure, yeah. Let's leave the tension because I know
Yeah.
the people that are watching us live. I know they want to talk about uh, everything else that happened this weekend. While you answer this question, I'm gonna go and get an accessory that I need. That it's to and I will describe it to our friends that are listening in audio, but it's an accessory that we need this night to talk about what just happened this weekend. So go ahead, John, and answer the question. I'll be right back.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, Leagues Cup. For those that don't know, it's the MLS versus Liga MX. If I'm saying that improperly, I'm sorry. That's what I've always known it as. Some call it Liga MX. Basically, it's a tournament starting off with group play of 3 teams. So each team is guaranteed at least 2 matches in their group. Basically, if you get the top 2, you move on to the next round, and then it's elimination play. No ties. You can draw. If the match 90 minutes ends in a draw, each team gets a point, and then the team that wins, and then they go into a penalty kick shootout. The team that wins the penalty kick shootout gets an extra point. So 2 points. So being good in penalties is important even in the group stages, and obviously elimination stages. I believe they do the extra time and then penalty kicks. So basically, Orlando, we play our first match this Friday against Houston Dynamo of the
Either,
MLS.
either.
Currently, they're sitting at 9th in the West. They have a negative goal differential. They have one player that scored over 5 goals for the entire season. Honestly, it's a match we should win. If you win one match in this, you can tie the other 2 or afford to tie the other one or afford to draw the other one, just because of the way things work out. And then we also have Santos Laguna that we play the following Saturday. So not this Saturday, the
It's
next
gonna be a
Saturday.
war.
Technically, it's an away game, but it's at home. Also, if you're a season ticket member, I was surprised. Check your season tickets.
Yeah,
I had
there's tickets for both.
I had tickets for both matches. I thought I didn't get any. I thought it was kind of U.S. Open Cup, and if we didn't have a home game, you were out of luck. But yeah, so basically, if we win our group, we go and play the second place finisher of the South 3 group, which is Chivas Guadalajara, Fort Lauderdale with Messi, and then our friends up north in the plastic infested city that is Atlanta. If we get second place in our group, we play Pacheca, which were winners of the of Liga MX last year, and then on down the road. So basically, top 3. If you get third place, second place, or first place, you automatically get into the Champions Cup, which was formerly CONCACAF Champions League. And you get all the glory that is with that and their revised format for next year. When next season comes, we saw how exciting it was. We saw for those that were able to attend the match back in at the beginning of the season, how exciting that match was. Second best atmosphere, maybe the best atmosphere I'd ever been to for a soccer game. So yeah, there's a lot at stake. One of the folks on Twitter put out a poll. What do you want to see us do? Do you want to see us kind of go all out, kind of take it as it goes, or just show up, wave our hands, and then rest for the remainder of the season? Honestly, and after I say this, David, you'll be up with your opinions on it. I think it's something we should go for. I think it's honestly, our best shot at getting a Champions Cup berth. Really, our only other options is win the Supporter Shield, which right now Cincinnati is 13 points ahead of us, I believe it is, with a quarter of the season remaining, basically, and then basically make the championship match, make the cup final for the MLS, and either win it or hope that basically well, Cincinnati was in there, it wouldn't matter. So basically, make the final of the MLS Cup is our only other option because of the different automatic bids to the Champions Cup. So yeah, I think it's something we need to go for. I think it's something that the fans need to take very seriously. I was extremely disappointed when I looked at tickets available for Saturday or for Friday, and there were still plenty of tickets left. They're same price as a regular MLS match, maybe even cheaper. But there's plenty available, any section you could imagine.
Go support the boys. That's all that matters. We want to be a big boy club. We gotta show up. We gotta show up to support a club. Every tournament is important. I hate this with all my clubs when people go, "Oh, that tournament doesn't matter." Every game matters. You don't turn down silverware. You don't just turn down silverware. I'm sorry. At least for me, I want to win everything.
Yep.
I want to win everything. And, you don't turn down $1 because it's $1 because you're waiting for $1,000 bill. No, you're not. You grab it. So with that said, go support the boys. We're definitely probably going to revisit this topic before the night's over. But I want to talk about something deeply close to my heart. This past weekend, I grabbed this thing. And for the people that are listening on audio, I grabbed this broom and I put it to work. Our boys went to Megatron's butthole over there in Atlanta, Georgia, and beat the pants off Atlanta United. I loved every second of it. Unfortunately, Ramiro Enrique couldn't put the third goal. And if you follow our social media, we clown them fools. But what the thing I wasn't ready for, John, was the fact that we were not done. We were not done this past weekend. OCB was hosting Atlanta United 2, and unfortunately, we went down to 10 men. Obviously, they tied the game. They went ahead. It was 2-1 at one point. But the boys said, not today. Not today. Not today. And I believe that's the tying goal was from, oh, God, his name right now escapes me. The kid that
Rivera.
No, not Rivera.
No, it wasn't Rivera.
God, I apologize to everybody. It's who I'm talking about, the skinny white kid that we drafted from the super draft last year.
Was it Jacqueline?
Jacqueline, I can't believe it. I had it at the tip of my tongue. Jacqueline ties it, and then if it wasn't enough that I'm coming back with my Puerto Rican batteries at full charge, Wilfredo Rivera, practically from center circle, goes and catches the keeper out of his line, Wayne Rooney style, and boom, we win it. We left them on that pitch as if we had hit a home run with bases loaded. I mean, it was just insanity. And by the way, the narrator was one-sided. He the whole time, is OCB going to be able to save something out of this? Atlanta is definitely the better team. Guess what, buddy? Wilfredo Rivera said no, not today. And I am very excited about this because it looks like Wilfredo Rivera may be debuting soon. We have said it on the show. Wilfredo at international level is doing wonders. Great football IQ, great left and right foot. A number 10 for the future, in my opinion. and he was a sub in Atlanta. I watched the. I I do so because they tend to be it's better quality. I'm just gonna say it like that. It's better quality. In the English version, you get a lot of people that are one-sided. The company man, they're gonna Atlanta. I on the highlights, I got to see that. I was like, oh, how could people listen to this garbage? But they were super excited because they were like, oh my god, we have a lot of people watching from that may be coming in soon, and I was starting to get excited. And with this, I finished for John to say his opinion. In Puerto Rico, there's a lot of MLS fans, a lot of Orlando City fans. And that warms my heart. There's a lot of people that obviously because they have family here or this is their favorite vacation destination. Obviously, I got to see cars with a magnet for Orlando City, a few cars on the road. That was pretty exciting. So again, I hope that Wilfredo Rivera definitely gets his turn. Also, we had a fantastic game. We swept them. They are right now. We sent out the dogs, John, because they have disappeared from social media. They have nothing to say this weekend, and that's just lovely. Your opinion about Atlanta this past weekend?
First off, I don't know if you guys saw it. Obviously, if you were lucky enough to attend the match in Atlanta, you didn't. Brad Guzan, the smug, keep it family friendly, John jerk that he is. Tried to say it wasn't a rivalry. Tried to say how they don't really feel pressure, all this before the match. Well, guess what? You almost got chipped from midfield by a kid from Omaha, Nebraska, that a year ago was spending his summer probably on a beach somewhere with his friends,
or baling hay, or picking up watermelons.
Something. You almost got chipped by him. You got scored on him. You looked like an absolute fool when you whatever attempt at a save that was, you unathletic clown. You guys haven't beat us in 11 matches. You guys have only beat us twice. I'll say it again. 11 matches, you guys have only beat us twice. So sit there and act smug, act like all that. You didn't do anything with the national team. You barely done anything with Atlanta on the back of a couple other players. And Saturday, you couldn't beat Orlando playing against 15 guys or playing with 15 guys against 11. The fact that there was almost 5 minutes of added time at the end of that match is laughable. Of course, the MLS and Pro is going to come up with some, silly excuse for it. All this happened, all that happened. I can understand it going to 6.5 a little bit. There's a little bit of a delay. There wasn't 5 minutes worth of a delay anywhere in that match. You giving our goalkeeper a yellow card when he doesn't even have the ball for time wasting. I don't care what he tried to do. That's laughable. There are plenty of opportunities to stop the game. Fact of the matter is, as ugly as it was, and as much as David and I don't like the style that we played, I kind of feel like Poppy was taunting them. Especially the last 3 quarters of the second half, because he said, "All right, we're up now. You guys are so great, have this great attack. Meanwhile, our 2 midfielders have your midfielder, your star, and Almada in their side pocket. The only chance he has to do anything is fall down and ask for a foul and hope one of our guys get carded, which he did plenty in that match." And Poppy just said, "You guys think you're so great, beat our back line of a tax collector, a mill worker, and beat us, come at us." And as boring as it was, and we beat them 2-1. A win's a win. Win against our rivals, something that we haven't
done. Win the classics, baby.
In our history is beat them with fans in their stadium that I can recall. And we go they've only beat us 2 of 11. Guzan doesn't want to say they don't feel the pressure. Enjoy your retirement next year on the beaches somewhere because obviously you have better places to go. And then the Orlando City B match. David, I forgot about it until you texted me. I know I acted like I was watching it, but I looked at the score. I'm like, yeah, been a good match. And then I got instantly on Twitter and looked at the highlights.
It was a war, bro. It was a war.
Yeah, it was a war. 11v10 for a good portion of the match, more than half of the match, and the boys stuck it out. And if you're not, I'm being serious. If you're not watching Orlando City B, you're missing the next generation of talent on the first team.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that we're not very active this transfer window. There's a reason that, the club has a B team. And this team, that you look at the talent we have on that B team, it's proven by who we signed last Monday and the goalkeeper. The talent's there, the quality's there, the potential quality's there. Orlando City B's there for the refinement. Whereas in past years, since the academy kind of got rejuvenated when Poppy came in, it was kind of like we were having players on our first team that still needed that polishing, still were extremely rough around the edges. And Orlando City B's there now with a loaded team, with a team that every one of those players probably could have a spot on, and especially the starting 11 or the general 13 or 14 that they start would have a spot on a lot of MLS clubs. A lot of MLS clubs would love to have a Jack Lynn as their backup striker. So it's very exciting. The skill they have, very exciting. They're going to have some off nights because, like I said, they still need some polishing, and they're going to, have a beautiful team goal to start the match, go up 1-0, and then end up losing 4-1 like they did a couple matches. But then they're going to come back and show the grit and determination that we as supporters want to see our club have, and beat our rival down a man 3-2. So great weekend to be an Orlando City supporter, and couldn't have asked for it to be much better than a soccer stadium.
No, for sure. And here to tell us all about it, first-hand experience, we got our friend Ahmed Salim. Ahmed, welcome. You are on the Capo stand, my friend.
How are
you? Went up to Atlanta, right?
No.
Oh,
I was on vacation last week.
Oh, look at you. My goodness. Yeah. No, my friend. So, your opinions about the sweeping this weekend?
You know what?
The OCB and Orlando City.
We got 3 points. Well, we got more than 3 points. We got 6 points. I couldn't be happier. But watching that game, the 75th minute, we're up, and I'm just worried. And you know what I'm worried about?
Yeah,
this defensive stance. When I'm like watching the game, and I felt like I was watching the movie Rocky. It doesn't matter which one of the Rocky movies you're watching, and I'm just worried that they're gonna score. And I'm like, if they score, we had that one opportunity where Enrique, he went up, Facu, it hit the
post, man.
The post, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
I know.
It was a nail biter. At the end of the day, I'm glad we got what we did, but I don't know. I felt like it was just we put all our eggs into that one basket, and it was like, you always say it's like a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. I felt like
yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
For those 15 minutes, it was flipped. It was a pound of luck and an ounce of talent because it was.
Yeah. Don't forget, Ahmed, it was closer to 20 minutes because of how the referee had.
I was just like,
Victor Rivas was the ref. Victor Rivas, remember that name? At the end, I felt. I don't know where he got the extra 4 minutes. I don't know.
I had to stop watching the game and just listen to it. I told my wife, I can't watch this. It was just too stressful, But at the end of the day, I mean, we played great. I think we played really well against them. But that last 15 minutes, just, I don't know if that was the right thing to do. I mean, obviously it was because we won. But had they scored one more goal and tied it, could we?
Yeah,
I say no. I don't know.
And John and I talked about this before we started recording, um, and it was the fact that the 8 games that we have tied with them, every single one of them, we were winning them.
Yes.
And we just surrendered the goal at the death.
Yep.
So that could have, how we won those games, we wouldn't be talking about this lopsided rivalry. They want to downplay it because obviously the numbers favor them. As years go by, that is disappearing. They haven't had success since 2019, as we keep putting mileage between that season and the present time, they're gonna come to realize that that they're just becoming a mid-table team. They caught the league with their pants around their ankles, but the reality is that the league caught up and they haven't. So it was fantastic to go there, win, and beat them up and embarrass them, because this is the thing that I used to tell fans back then, to their fans. You love having us as a rival because we're bad. What's going to happen when we turn out to be good?
Mm-hmm.
And that is happening right now. They don't want us because Ahmed, this is the thing, brother. We got the receipts. We have the receipts. And you know what happens when people are marinating on crap you did to them for a while back? They're gonna come back, and it's not gonna taste good, man.
Yeah.
Mark my words. Mark my words. We haven't brought it up yet, but that Gillespie save, the last save he really had to make, is I feel like kind of took the monkey, if you will, off Poppy's back, because we've beat virtually every other team in the East. We've been very competitive with them. I feel like that that save, that win is going to take the monkey off his back with Atlanta, and going to be the turning point, the crucial point of when the rivalry switches, because that save by Gillespie should be up for save of the year, in my opinion.
Again.
Again.
Same place, same
Opposite post though. Opposite post, and I think opposite side of the field, but still. The save by him, what an amazing save, and I really think that's going to be a turning point in the rivalry.
And the goal that we surrendered was unfortunate. I think the fact that they were able to score takes away Antonio Carlos, in my opinion, man of the match, because not only did he have the equalizer, he has some defensive moves that saved us a few times of getting in trouble. And it was unfortunate that the ball just happens to fall on that one Atlanta player that just happens to be there. It's easy for me to say, well, if our guys were on top of it, the back heel from the Nebraskan assassin that went begging for somebody to tap in. Cesar Araujo could have tapped it in, but he just got caught while watching. There's a lot of things that we can be critical of. The fact is that we went to a very hostile environment, and we did not let that intimidate us. And also, guys, I'm sorry. I'll let you go.
No, I was going to say, honestly, that was what scared me when they first scored. Being in that,
for sure.
I hope that after that it doesn't just go downhill, because that's exactly what can happen.
Usually, that's how it operates. Absolutely,
like I said, their goal, it wasn't like a good goal; it was just a mistake, and
it was a mistake.
Happens, whatever.
And the turf had a lot to do. We had discussed that ad nauseum in this podcast, how it takes away from the game of football, because it's a surface that is made to keep NFL players safe. Mm-hmm. It's foamy, and it doesn't allow the ball to do what a ball is supposed to do, bounce and roll. It doesn't allow it to do that. So for me, we only have to go there once a year. We went there, we beat them up. And I would like to move on to did you watch the OCB game?
I just saw little highlights of it, but I always say that that's like where the future is. And to see somebody, great goal, but better than the goal was the fact that he saw that play. Like, to be able to read that and to be able to see that opportunity. Goals like that will happen, right? But it's more about, like you call it, like the soccer IQ, to be able to see that play before it happens. that's really what's exciting to me.
No,
You know,
for sure. And for
get
me, Wilfredo, who came in as a sub, and also Mason, who the night before were in Atlanta. They got off the airplane. They went to play
yeah,
with OCB. That shows maturity of these two young men. I felt that aside from the penalty and the goal that they surrendered to Atlanta, obviously they were a man up. I cannot be critical of that. Atlanta should have won that game. Their problem is the following, and I'm gonna, we're all friends here. I like to talk to people. The like if we were just around the tailgate section. Um, Atlanta has created a culture that of the Unite and Conquer and of the Kings of the South. All this stuff, those kids believe that. They buy into that. They're better than everybody else. They don't have to do anything. Just put that magic jersey, and all of a sudden they are the greatest players in the world. And and that's bull. I'm serious. That's bull. Um, Meanwhile, in Orlando, these guys understand. Hey, we're for the working man. We're for the guys that work the parks and the airport, and clean the streets. The guys that work in the offices downtown. That's who they work. That's who they play for. That's who they play for. The guys that drive an hour or two to go to the stadium. The guys that do great sacrifices to pay for their tickets. That's who they play for. And they gave us that. Never say never, never say die. And I have to say that the performance yesterday, it was unfortunate, the second yellow card to Williams. But again, in these games, usually the ref should be wearing the colors of Atlanta. That's how it is. I don't think that I don't think it was worthy of a yellow card. You're gonna give you're gonna this is how a massive the ref inserts himself in the game. You punish Orlando City 3 times. You give him a PK. You second yellow card, and you take them down to 10 men. So wearing that infraction that you feel that Williams did, which it was a hard tackle, but it wasn't anything excessive. Where do you feel that you are exercising judgment, sound judgment? Because what you're doing is you're punishing a team 3 times over. And Atlanta did what they had to do. But at the end of the day, our boys didn't quit. And guys, this is to me the this cauldron where guys get galvanized and go to the first team, and they can face adversity like this, because not every game is gonna go according to what Oscar wants us to do. And I finish with this. The great Mike Tyson always said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlanta had a plan. They got punched in the mouth, and we nailed them from center circle. And let me tell you something, to the guys that go to the OCB games, I would love to do it. I gotta be honest, I just don't have the money, to go to, because, and we have discussed this before, the OCB games are priced just like if they were first team games, which I think is unfortunate, because we are cheating this young players from people showing up to the games. And I know the supporter groups get free tickets, and to those guys that are taking advantage of that, God bless you. That was fantastic. I know a couple of the guys that were there. They said that the guys appreciate the support that they're getting. And if you live in the Kissimmee area, please go support the guys if you can. If you're, like, again, I'm reminding you, if you're a supporter group member, you do get free tickets. So exercise that benefit from your membership, because the guys need you. The guys need our support. So Ahmed, before we let you go, my friend, any expectations about Leagues Cup?
When we spoke about it last week, I was telling John, I just as well as just forego it and worry about our season. But given the what I've learned about it over the past few days, I think it would be great to get as far as we can. I mean, our first game is against Houston. I hate to make any predictions, but I would like us to move forward and not on PKs. I'll call it that. Because
Thank you.
the way I hate to move forward on anything on PKs. To me, it's like a draw or no. We need to move forward on a win, on a legitimate win in regular time. That's all I can say. And the way we've been playing, I don't see that as an issue. It shouldn't be, really.
Absolutely.
No,
That's
for
all.
sure.
Absolutely.
I'm 100% with you, my friend. Where can we find you on the internet?
Right there, Ahmed Salim 1376, and all over the place. Or Ahmed Salim.
Fantastic. Thank you, my friend. I want to thank you for
you,
helping us out last week.
Oh, it was my pleasure, man. Anytime.
For sure, brother. Like I said, I'm gonna abuse of that privilege many times over. There's been times, and John knows this, that I find myself traveling on Mondays, and I basically make it. I make it to the show with minutes to spare. So if we can have people giving me a break, thank you for that. So all right, I mean, thank you very much, my friend. It was great talking to you, and we have two other people that are going to be coming on here in a second.
Cool.
So thank you, my friend.
Take care. See you soon. Bye.
All right, brother. All right, John. We have some comments here. Tell me if we read this one.
We have not read that one. Jim D. I saw Mason was starting for RCB. Do you think he'll be our starting goalie for at least the first couple matches? I'm supposing you mean Leagues Cup. No, I don't think he will be, because it's 2 matches, and then you find out if you're
moving on.
2 matches, you're either moving on or you're staying home. So I hope Poppy puts all the cards on the table in those first 2 matches and really goes for it, so we can get.
And it's the shortest route to CCL.
And we get home field. If we win, we get home field.
I want Pedro. I'm sorry to Mason. No disrespect, but and I'm gonna say something that may be controversial, but I felt that when we were in Open Cup a few years, when we played Atlanta, they got eliminated at home. I think Atlanta understood the situation. They wanted to win that championship. They put a team that would have rolled out for an MLS game, and James O'Connor did not. While I think Adam Greenwich is a fantastic guy, he's not a starter in MLS. Even though the heroics and all that, but unfortunately, he went on that duel against Guzan and he lost. And I think it's my firm belief that how we fielded our MLS starters for that game, probably Atlanta would have been the champion that year.
Because we only lost 2-1, I believe, maybe 3-1, but it was kind
of. Well, we lost 2-0 in that game.
2-0. Sorry, still it was a match.
Exactly, and 2-0. We did score a goal that was offside.
That's right.
But again, I think that we have to understand the pedigree and the shortcomings of some of our players. And when it comes to goalkeepers, Pedro is a national, just not a CONMEBOL national team starter, and a player that has been to a World Cup. That's why I won between the post, unless he is on international duty or hurt. And I'm gonna say one thing: Mason has been here for a while. 8 years, 9 years, I think, since 2015. And my number 2, if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick a number 2, it's gonna be Ojeda. I think the fact that with OCB he has been superb. Ojeda has the height. The guy thinks like 6'5". He's a national team player with Venezuela. Again, a CONMEBOL nation. I don't know. Again, like I said, at some point we have to make the tough decisions. And we had guys here that were number 2s and number 3s that had gone somewhere else to start. Ratchinson with Toronto, and Edwards Jr. with New England. So it's not a dig at them. It's just that here in our club, I think Ojeda is definitely
Listen,
going to be the guy.
I got one more thing to say about Leagues
Yeah,
Cup,
brother.
and we can move on to the next comment.
Sure.
I don't know about you, David, but I haven't seen them promote the match Friday or the match next Saturday. Hardly at all. They just promote the Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
For your casual fan that doesn't follow the club as closely as you and I, and I'm sure the majority of the viewers follow the club, nobody's going to know what that is. They're going to think that's something like when we had the Florida Cup at the Citrus Bowl
like a friendly.
years ago. It's a couple, semi-pro or college teams playing against each other. For them to sit there and not promote the club, and it hit a nerve when they did it a month ago, and then to sit there and do all this for an opposing player, spike the tickets up, 5 times what they usually are, basically, at least in the supporter section. They went, they were like $70 a piece.
Oh, no, everywhere else.
And for them to do all that for an opposing player and then not promote the Leagues Cup or not promote specific matches in the Leagues Cup, really shame on the front office for that. They're doing our players a disservice. They're doing the club as a whole a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just, it's not what you like to see from a front office.
That's on the club, my friend.
Huge tournament coming up.
It's not defensible. So let's read this comment because we got somebody on the wings here.
John Ames. I know it's a long time away, but I want to face St. Louis City already. They're on top of the conference, and it would be a great chance to see where we stand against someone on top of the league. Listen, we play them, and we play Cincinnati in the course of a month. Cincinnati, I feel, is going to be the much tougher game. One,
yes,
it's on the road. Two, the Eastern Conference,
a very hostile place.
Yes, a very much. The Eastern Conference is a much harder, much more stacked conference than the West is. Because I believe right now we would be in second or third place by ourselves if we were in the West with our point total. So St. Louis, we were talking about it, which we can touch on it later. As long as you don't pass it to one of their strikers, directly to one of their strikers, when you're trying to play the ball back to the goalie, you're going to be fine, and we're going to beat them. I'm not too afraid of them.
Yep. So new guys on the block, and again, I want to measure myself. To beat the man, you gotta beat the man. Mm-hmm. And if you want to fly with eagles, you can hang out with turkeys. Those are facts, my friend. So obviously, we have to play with the best of the best. All right. So we have our friend Vixen here. Vixen, welcome. You're on the Capo stand. What's happening, brother? How was Atlanta?
I went to the game with my two best friends, John and William, and it was awesome. It was awesome seeing us win over there away, and with awesome Orlando City fans. It felt like a dream. It really did.
All right, you gotta take us, brother. You gotta take us through the experience. How was the experience outside of the stadium? How was it going in? And where were you sitting at?
The security of Mercedes-Benz Stadium gave John William and I a hard time. They're like, the guy was like, we got some Orlando fans. Orlando. I know I'm missing the L, but you guys will get that in the stadium. So, and then my boy John was like,
you see him after the game saying, "Hey, I missed out on the L. Where is it?"
You know what? We were walking out. We got into gate 1 where we saw him, and we were walking out of gate 2. And then John reminded William and I, like, "Yo, let's go back to gate 1. Let's go down there to where we came in to see that guy." And then William was like, "Nah, I don't wanna." Then I convinced William, like, "Dude, let's do it, man." He gave us a hard time, and William was like, "Oh, okay." So we went down there, and and then John approached the security guard. He was like, "Oh no, man, you guys can keep the L in Atlanta."
There you go. Yeah, we
Nice.
found it in your locker room.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great, man. That's the level of pettiness.
I
that
brought
love.
him. I found some napkins. I got some napkins, and I was like, "Here, buddy. Here's some napkins to wipe off the tears off your face, man."
Love it. Love it. That's the level of pettiness that you need.
No, but it wasn't only him. It was other security people too.
Of course, you know, because
they were giving us a hard time, and I was like, "All right, go ahead."
Well, they lost. They lost. It's a new world. They need to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So where were you guys sitting?
We found a few seats in the supporter section. We were hanging out there.
In their supporter section?
No, in Orlando City.
The away
section.
Which is up in the rafters, right?
Yeah. I was trying to look for myself on TV after the game.
There's no way you can see this.
Yeah, no, but they showed John a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's
for like a millisecond, you can see John just clapping, and I was like, "Dang!" He made.
How was the atmosphere? Because John and I were discussing this, that I felt that it looks emptier than in years past.
The fans, like for 43,000 people that were there at that game, it sounded like there was like 15,000 people in that stadium. It sounds louder because it's indoors, but I feel like if you put like 17,000 Orlando City fans in that indoor stadium over the 17,000 Atlanta fans, like I think Orlando City fans would be way louder and way more passionate than.
Yeah, and I mean it sounded like on the TV that once we went up 2-1, it was crickets. Every once in a while I thought maybe it was just my imagination playing the best of me. Mm-hmm. I could hear, some Orlando chants coming from you guys. But in general, it was crickets for as many people as was there.
Yeah, dude.
It was crickets.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard the national anthem. I saw it on the replay. Like I saw the full match, and while they were singing the national anthem, you know how we say Knights.
Mm-hmm.
When we said Knights like during the national anthem. It sounded loud. It sounded like it was like 20,000 people who said that. Nice. And it was only like a good 35, 25 of us. And I'm like, did we really sound that loud? Like I checked on the TV, you could hear us just as loud as the Atlanta fans. Nice. I was like, dude, man, we were loud when we said
I tip my hat to the guys that made the trip.
Yeah.
I'm super, super excited. I know in the past it has been I think that our lack of success there has affected how many people from Orlando goes there. I'm in a way disappointed that, like only 35 people were in your section, but we saw Orlando fans throughout the stadium.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah. No, there's people that are there for school or they're stationed there in the military and or people that just move for other reasons. So kudos to them to stay loyal to the brand and to go represent the club.
We met. Save that thought. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
But William met. We went to the tailgate, and William met an Orlando fan, and he lived in Atlanta. Like he never set foot in Orlando, and he was just like,
really?
Yeah, I was like, yo, this guy's a legend right here.
Man, what was it? Was it a young kid?
Yeah, it was.
I know who you're talking about. He lives. He used to listen to. Or I'm assuming he still does. After I left Twitter, I sort of lost contact with a lot of people. He lives northeast of Atlanta, and it's like towards the South Carolina border. And he came down one time on vacation to catch Orlando City, and he went to a Seawolves game, and that's where I met him with his parents. Nice kid. I think that's who it is.
I think so too.
Yeah. Because I asked him, I said, "Well, do you guys live here and moved there or whatever?" He's like, "No, I've been an Orlando City fan forever." And I asked him, I said, "You could have gone and follow Atlanta, and I wouldn't be mad at that because obviously it makes sense. You live in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, blah blah blah." He's like, "No, clubs are for life." So I was like, wow, I was like shocked because I know some people in Valdosta and
Macon, Savannah.
Macon, Savannah, that Orlando City fans, and that makes more sense because it's closer to the Florida border. But for those fans in Metro Atlanta that are rocking our colors, God bless you. 'Cause I know
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough.
I wore this shirt because even if we would have won, I didn't want to get beat up after the game. So like just for protection, my boy Breck Shea was there in spirit, and I've had about like 10, 15 or so Atlanta fans be like, "Yo, I want to beat you up so bad," but that Shea shirt, man, yeah, you're lucky, man. That guy is a rebel.
Break Shea, the
Yeah,
Atlanta legendary Break Shea.
I was
Love
like, let me go wear this for protection if if anything goes down,
No, for sure.
I was
By the way, did you watch the OCB game?
no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Did you watch the highlights?
Did not actually. But
Bro, I recommend that you do. You're gonna love it.
No, the 6 points that I put down there. I said that because I like what Ahmed said. He was
yeah.
We got 3 points. Actually, we got 6 points. I'm like, yeah, that's brilliant.
No, for sure, brother. It was a great game. I know you live in Tallahassee, but I'm encouraging people to go support the boys and also to watch the games. If you have the
Apple TV.
Apple TV, they're available there, and they take turns because sometimes they show the games on the MLS channel on YouTube. So yeah, and again, it's just great matches. I love football. I can never get enough of it. So if sometimes there's nothing going on, and I'm like, okay, let me watch OCB. I mean, OCB is a very good team. Sometimes we get shellacked, but and that's what it looked like this past Sunday that we were gonna head in that direction. But the boys pulled through and showed Atlanta United too that they gotta leave with the garbage. I got my broomstick here, and we swept them. And for those that haven't watched our social media, we dedicated a few seconds to talk about this past weekend. Sweet weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I'll look into it to watch the OCB games for sure.
No, for sure, brother. So after that, you guys just basically got in your car and went home, or
no. Well, before that, I wanted to say that there was these like 19, 20-year-olds in the front row, like 2 sections over. I was giving like a lot, like it was talking a lot of bad stuff to us, like pointing middle fingers and like they're gonna say "Boo Orlando," like, and then like it was. I met one of the people there, actually 2 of the people there on the way to the bathroom, and they were like, "Oh, yo, you're the kid that's talking stuff over there, right?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay, bet, man." And then, this is football, we.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But, and you have experienced something that I think everybody should is go to somebody else's house and beat them up and see them suffer. So that's fantastic. And not taking away. I mean, we say it jokingly, but Mercedes-Benz is a beautiful stadium. I just don't think that it works for our sport. It's a beautiful NFL stadium. I will go there, watch a concert and all that, but I just think that the surface does not work for us. How was the viewing? Because I mean, I know some people have said, "Hey, you take your eyes off the pitch and you realize you're in an NFL stadium." I mean, there's no if or buts. Because at first, what I know, they build a stadium with soccer in mind. That's BS. That's a lie. Nobody. If you believe that, I have a bridge in Brooklyn. I'm gonna sell you for $1. It's not true. It's not true.
It looked the away supporters, like it looks far from like the Ticketmaster map, but it was a pretty good view of the field, to be honest. And like when they were like presenting the Atlanta players, like the sound was like a lot louder than the DJ that was playing music beforehand, and it felt like a movie theater. Like,
really?
Yeah, like it's all TVs, like the outer ring.
Oh, okay, yeah, that big circle. I got you.
Yeah, and then you're just looking up, and then you're like, it feels like a movie theater,
And how many people go goose? I think it's stupid, dorks.
Yeah,
How many
a
people
lot
do
of
that?
people.
A lot of people
Oh,
do
is
that.
that what they're doing? I didn't know that's what they're doing. William and I, we saw that they were saying boo, like boo, like.
Oh no, it's a goose, like goose
Oh,
on.
I had no idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
awesome.
I know, man. I mean, what was it? Now before we let you go, I gotta hear from you, brother. How was the reaction when Pedro el Pulpo Galese pulled that incredible cat-like reflex and denied them of the equalizer? I
Yeah.
felt that their souls left the stadium, and I'm all the way here in Orlando.
Even before that free kick from Almada that Galeza saved, people were leaving the stadium. Like we were all singing na 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 na. Hey,
Wow.
yeah, they were. We were people leaving the stadium, so a lot of people, like half the stadium was gone already by that free kick. So it was a lot quieter. But we yelled our lungs out. We were. I lost my voice. I'm surprised it's back. Really, I thought I was gonna be. I lost my voice. I waved my Peruvian flag. Then we did Gales. Like,
Did he saw you guys?
oh yeah. Before when he came out, like for saves and stuff. Like, before the game started, he waved at John and I because we're Peruvian. And we waved the Peruvian flag that I got in Atlanta, and I waved it, and he said hello. He waved.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, man. I think first of all, thank you and Will and all the supporters that went over there. We always say that we are very proud that in every game that we have every season since 2015, we at least have one supporter there supporting our club, and that's what makes us special. Because this is the thing. You follow a club not for the wins, not for who plays for the team, not for the trophies.
Mm-hmm.
You do it because you found yourself a place. The great Bergkamp said that many years ago. I live by that motto. I think that it's true. I'm a firm believer that clubs pick you, not the other way around. And you have to roll with the punches, man. Because when the winning starts and things get great, you savor them because you already know what is drink from the bitter chalice of defeat. And Vixen, for you to tell me that these people felt so devastated. There were times we were in Orlando City that they were leaving early.
Yeah.
To me, that says glory hunters. The Kool-Aid has run out, and they're there for the easy wins. How fun listen, following a club that wins every week, that's not fun to me. That is not fun. It's not fun. If where's the excitement? So I'm glad that they were defeated, that you were there to watch it.
It was a dream. It was a dream.
Oh, dude, I'm jealous. I'm envious. We this Friday we're gonna be playing in Leagues Cup. Our first opponent is gonna be the Houston Dynamo. Your expectations about the Leagues Cup? What you want this to be for us?
I do want to win it. Like I agree with you guys that it is the shortest path to the Champions Cup. And I believe it'll be a 3-1 win against Houston. And for Cruz Azul, I think it's going to go to penalty kicks, sadly.
Santos Laguna.
Huh?
Santos Laguna is our opponent.
Oh, yeah, Santos, sorry. I keep thinking Cruz Azul because they're going against
Miami. Because everybody's been talking about that.
Dude, it's so funny. Like how John was saying earlier, like they didn't advertise it well. Like they don't advertise the Leagues Cup here. No, they advertise it like crazy in Atlanta. Like they're going to Cruz Azul. Like, oh, get tickets now. Like even the announcer said it, and like he even got me talking about it, and I'm not even.
So see, if advertising works because you were under the impression that we were playing that team, so that
were in the bathroom and everything, like.
Then I'm hugely disappointed that our club is not doing that. And like John said, we have to get people excited. If you don't get people excited, they're not gonna show up.
They had stuff in the bathroom. I mean, I'm talking about that, and I'm like,
wow, yeah, I know.
I told John. I mean, I was telling John in my head when he was mentioning about it. I was like, dude, that's so true, because like, look what happened now. I just talked about Cruz Azul, and
no. Like I said, again, that's what marketing is supposed to be. I took a marketing class in college, and they say basically you have to be a battering ram. When it gets to the point where people associate the event that you are promoting or the brand with whatever. In fact, there's a podcast from Puerto Rico that I listen to all the time, and they're sponsored by a local beer that you can find it here in Florida. So when I went to Puerto Rico, that's all I drank. And it was delicious, by the way. It was great. Yeah. But the fact is that, for years I've been listening to this podcast and they promote this beer, and that's the first thing I wanted to do. And, I drank gallons of this stuff. Again, it's basically that I just don't think that Orlando City as a club, I gotta say something again, I'm always in trouble anyways. I just feel that once our original marketing director moved on to Nashville, that we haven't had the same impact that we used to. The buses, the billboards, the magnets, the trinkets that they used to give us when you attend.
Bring back the player autograph signing a little bit.
Oh, yes,
that was
brother.
a time.
This is one thing that used to be part of the package when you were a season ticket holder. This is the moment when you get to interact with the player. You get to take something with you home, and you get to get a picture with him. Remember that going to Publix or Metro PCS to get a picture with players.
Absolutely.
This is the moment for the players to be ingrained in the community, and also for people to show affection to the players. And we have moved away from that. I don't.
It was Tijuana Flats and Moe's too. I remember I met Carlos Asquez in a Moe's, and like he treated my father and I like he knew how much we appreciated him being.
No, I hear you, brother.
His mom was there. His mom was there. Like, well,
Carlos Asquez's mom was.
Was there at Moe's with him. I was like, we talked to his mom for like 15 minutes. Just
that's the thing that I love about those. And obviously, we're going on a huge tangent here, but I met Jose Aja at a Publix after my kids got out of soccer practice. I met 3 other players at the Florida Mall, I went to right before the Puerto Rico benefit game that we had. I met Jonathan Spector and
in Publix. I went to that.
No, it was at an Academy Sports. One over there on Lee Vista Boulevard. He was there with Joe Bendick, and we showed up at the very end, like the whole line. They're like, okay, sign, and we just stood there, man. There was nothing, and we just like talking to them, whatever. And my wife's cousin was the manager on duty, and I was like, no, don't talk to this guy. This guy's a Red Bulls fan, we had a great time, man. And again, these are the things that I think add value, and the club, unfortunately, the new ownership is not fostering. And I would love for us to go back to that.
One thing about Jonathan Spector, he was so nice. I was like the second. I went there like 30 minutes early to that Publix. I was like the second person in line. And dude, I brought so many stuff. I brought like 3 USA jerseys, 2 Orlando City jerseys, scarf. He signed it happily. He was like, dude, nice.
Super nice.
Jersey. Oh, you got okay. Yeah.
Super nice, dude.
So Vixen, before we let you go, how excited are you for September? You got to see in person your countryman, Wilder Cartagena, put one Argentine in his back pocket.
Sure did.
And he gets a chance in September to put Messi in his other pocket. How excited are you for that?
Very much so. Very much so, because that plays into perspective, like on who the Peruvian coach will start for his lineup when it comes to playing in Argentina or the home game in Peru. So I just think that if he does well against that, it also reflects on Cartagena as an Orlando City player, helps him out, and another as country as well. And I think that's good for him, like to build like morale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that'll be awesome.
Definitely.
Oh, fantastic. All right, Vixen. Thank you very much, my friend. We're gonna be wrapping it up. Thank you for being with us. I'm glad that you had a great time in Atlanta.
Oh man.
Hopefully this Friday we're gonna be walking away with the win and moving forward in the Leagues Cup. All right.
One thing, I see that John drinks Mountain Dew, like on almost every podcast, and I'm like, I don't drink Mountain Dew as much, but I'm over here drinking my Mountain Dew. Right along with you, my friend, and it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
Yep.
I haven't had it in like years, and I'm like, I kind of forgot how that tasted. And
do they do? I'm
over here enjoying some of my Florida Cup,
No, I hear you. We're big drinkers here. All right, my friend. We're gonna let you go because William is joining us here to round it up. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Take it easy.
Awesome. And here we are frying and eating at the same time, and welcoming our friend William. Welcome to the show. You're on the Capital stand, my friend.
Thank you for taking me once again here.
No, for sure, brother. How was that experience? Obviously, Vixen here was a second ago telling us all about it. What was your perspective of the trip?
It was very exciting. I think I felt even more excited than when I go to the home games. I don't know, maybe it's just a different thing. I'll also being with the supporters, because I always, like, when I go to the stadium, I'll go in my regular seat. But with being with the supporters, I think it's especially away. It just gives you that, like, you feel like protected, because you're all together. Like, you're surrounded by Atlanta fans, so like having the supporters with you is like you have a shield on you, So yeah, I mean that was my whole experience going to the stadium. I like how people, like, they were like hostile and friendly at the same time. Like, they will tell you like jokes about like Orlando and stuff, but ultimately it was just like joking around. I wanted to say I thought the stadium looked like sold out to me. Like, I don't know if it's the colors or anything, but it's just it looked like they had a lot of people.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but now that you mentioned like the attendance, I was like, that maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm a little blind. But what I saw is the supporter section for Atlanta. It was kind of packed, and although it was packed, or it felt packed to me, because like I said, there might be a misperception of what it was. They weren't very loud. And I, like, for me, like, if I was an Atlanta fan going there the first time, I would not be able to mimic any chants for Atlanta. Like, it was just so quiet. Like, I don't recall like hearing them at all. Maybe I was too far away from them. I don't know. It could be, but it's just like in when you go to Exploria Stadium, you could be on the other side, like by the screen, the jumbotron, and you will still hear the guys from the supporter section. So, so I don't know what that was about.
So yeah, what part of the design of Exploria Stadium
acoustics,
with the supporter section is, notice when you're looking at it, it looks like you're essentially looking at a wall. Not to be funny, but it's so steep that instead of the sound more projecting up and out, it's more directly out over the pitch, reaching. Whereas your typical NFL stadium, the lower bowl is usually pretty shallow pitch going up.
Yeah.
So the acoustics have something to do with it. Got on it on my personal account, got into it with fans from all over the U.S., MLS fans, about how certain stadiums should be ranked this high and everything for their atmosphere. And we do have something special in Exploria Stadium. Even when the team was down, the atmosphere was still there. It's taken us a little bit to get back from COVID for, a number of reasons you could pick from. But I really feel like this year, the noise is back for sure. There's a lot of new fans there. But the noise I feel of the stadium is definitely back. The Orlando City chant that they usually do around the 80th minute doesn't sound like as much of the last couple of years I hated it because it sounded like a death march. Going around the stadium, I don't feel like it really does anymore, especially when you hear it on TV. Exploria Stadium, Orlando City Stadium, I feel is on the up and up, is coming back with the with the team doing better, the signings we've had and everything. And Atlanta's kind of trending in the opposite direction than us. So, all those are part of it.
Okay. No, for sure. So, William, because unfortunately you come in after we ask questions to Vixen. What are your expectations for Friday? Leagues Cup. We're playing against Houston. Houston not having the best season. They're ninth in the West. I feel it's gonna be a win. It has to be. We're at home. The weather is not gonna be a factor because I've been to Houston. I lived in Texas. They're hotter than us in the summer. So they are. It's weather very similar. They get hurricanes. The whole shebang. So I think it's gonna. When in that respect, it's gonna be a very even match. But on paper, we're the better team, and I expect us to win. In my opinion, the battle is going to be against the Mexican team, Santos Laguna, who are very good. What are your expectations on this Friday? And also, are you going to be there?
Of course, yeah. I'm going to be there. I never miss any Orlando City matches at home. My expectation is a 2-0 against Houston. And you were mentioning that Santos is kind of a good team. I follow Liga MX. I watch some of the games, and I know last season they were sort of good, but this season they're not doing that great. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so I think Orlando could. Orlando could tie against Houston, but I think it's definitely a win against Santos, in my opinion. Like comparing the two teams now.
No, fantastic. Well, thank you, my friend, for coming on. Sorry that this week is gonna be short. Like I said, Vixen, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
There's something I forgot to mention for the Atlanta game. I think he forgot to Vixen forgot to mention it. But there are some people from the supporter section leaving the game early. Like when they announced the 5 minutes extra, there were people from the supporter section leaving the game, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah, no. If Vixen mentioned it, and I said to him, that will never happen in Orlando. I'm sorry. I stay till the end. We get smashed. But it is what it is. So bad, so sad for those guys. Well, thank you, William. I see that you are the broom master. I thank you for that. By the way, did you have the chance to see excuse me, the OCB match?
Not live because I was working. But I did watch the highlights. I saw that Golazo from Wilfredo.
Oh yeah. Just plain old filth. You have to put a hazmat suit to watch that goal. Go and check it out. Thank you, my friend William. We'll see you next week, my friend, and hopefully we'll run into each other at the stadium this Friday. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, and to wrap it up, John, if you don't mind reading Vixen's comments here.
Yeah, definitely. Vixen added some comments. Kyle Smith had a really bad game against Atlanta United. I'm fully convinced if he was there a minute longer, we would have lost. I love how DDT, Dagger Dan Thurhausen, played with passion. I'm glad he got subbed in for Smith. Not a bad substitution for Smith as a right back. When Angulo got subbed out, the supporters tried to get his attention, but he didn't hear us, sadly. Yeah, I mean, the subs, for what they were doing, I'll put it that way, for what the game plan was, being up 2-1, I thought the subs were spot on, were what they needed. Yeah, I mean, Dagger Dan's played very, in my opinion, played decent, and then well at right back. The 2 times we've seen him come in as a sub, he's kind of a little bit of a change of pace from Kyle Smith. He's a little bit quicker, a little bit more technical with the ball than Kyle Smith is. So it's a good change of pace, a good look late in games, whether we need him attacking or defending.
No, for sure. Great subs. Kudos to Oscar Pareja. We criticize him when we feel that he deserves it, and we on this one we have to say that masterful way of going over there, getting the points. And I'm gonna say it, if Oscar Pareja is gonna be our manager moving forward, you gotta work on making me fall in love with you again, Oscar. This is a starter.
It's a start.
You know what I mean? I expect the mariachi band outside, serenading me on my balcony. I expect the flowers at work. I expect the notes on my lunchbox. All that, when you get in a fight with the old lady, that's what works, right? So Oscar Pareja has to make this fan base fall in love back with him.
Yeah.
And how you do that? You win games. You win the games that matter to the fans.
He got on. I don't know if you saw it yesterday or today when they released it, but he was the coach of the match day.
In the MLS. He earned it for sure.
We also had Antonio Carlos made the starting 11, and Pereira was a substitute. I was kind of surprised Cartagena wasn't on there. I thought, in my opinion, he was man of the match because he had the sole duty of taking Almada and pocketing him, which I think he did an extremely good job in doing. And Antonio Carlos was a very close second. He was incredible, and bring up that goal. I didn't get a chance to bring it up when you were talking about it. The first shot was mishit terribly, which is why Gillespie had that covered unless it was mishit. You got to play for the guy to hit it square. And then Carlos with the hustle play, and really after that, it was bad luck. Went straight to an Atlanta player that put it home as he should have. But, overall, our defense, the defensive mids, all 4 defenders and the subs that came on to help in defense, I felt played a very solid match, very good match. But, yeah, Cartagena, I just couldn't get over the defensive effort that he put in against Almada.
Yeah, for sure. Again, it was a great weekend for the boys on both ends, and this is it. Football is always like this. Today we're celebrating. The week before we were lamenting of the beatdown that we got. It's cruel and unpredictable. This is why we love the game. It's peaks and valleys every season. All right, John. So anything else to say before we say goodbye?
Are you gonna be there Friday?
I'm gonna try my darnest. As of right now, I probably have may have a service call in Gainesville, so that means that the game is at 8:00 at night. So I guess I don't have an excuse to miss it.
Yeah.
But I as of right now, I'm 99% sure that I'm gonna be there. If I have to go to the game in my work clothes, so be it. Yep. But definitely I'll be there to support the boys.
No, it's a Friday night, people. What better way to spend a Friday night than, tailgating for happy hour, going and watching the boys, and then celebrating a win downtown.
For sure, my friend, for sure. So we invite everybody to show up this Friday, go support the boys. We want to remind everybody that we are live on, and just waiting on the ticket here. On Twitch at On the Capostan, on Twitter at On the Capostan, on YouTube at David's Channel 76, on Instagram at On the Capostan, on Facebook On the Capostan podcast. If you subscribe to the channel, it's my personal channel. I have a bunch of crap there. I put up videos of some of the things that I did on my vacation. So if you want to follow how boring the life of a middle-aged man married with kids is, go over there and check those out. Just again, please subscribe to the channel. and that helps us out. Let people know that we're here. Again, this show's for you guys. We're not concerned with audiences or cloud or being famous or none of that. We just wanna talk football. We're gonna talk about our club, Orlando City, with as many fans as possible. We're on audio wherever you consume your podcasts, and again, we'll be expecting you here next Monday, 9 p.m. to talk about the game against Houston Dynamo in League's Cup. I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be an interesting one in the heat of the night in the month of July. So, with that said,
One more
John,
thing, David, real quick, going over the socials. Be sure to check out the video that we posted to our socials. The myth of the legendary David Valentin makes an appearance in one of those videos.
Okay, yeah, I'm being humble. I'm being humble. All right, my friends, we're already going long. See you under the floodlights at Exploria. We say goodbye to you guys like we always do, reminding you that football is the game for those that don't mind their mouths smashed and their hearts broken. From John and myself, may God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando.